This weekend, the U.S. government gave up control of the so-called Internet address vault. Tony DeCoco explains what that is and how it might impact the internet.
No one owns the internet, but for nearly 20 years, the U.S. government has controlled the official list of every website address. As of today, the government's control is no more. The job now belongs solely to ICANN, a nonprofit based in Los Angeles and advised by a global committee that includes China, Russia, and Iran.
When you look up a website, your computer looks for the information on another machine, like one of these, and it uses a unique identifying number, a bit like a home address for the internet.
If ICANN deletes an address, it could, in effect, delete a website, a threat that caught the eye of Texas Senator Ted Cruz.
Russia and China and Iran don't have a First Amendment. They don't protect free speech, and they actively censor the internet. ICANN could do the same thing, putting foreign countries in charge of what you can say online.
Cruz launched a countdown to the day America, quote, gives away the internet. The Donald Trump campaign joined in, hoping to, quote, save the internet. But in a statement, ICANN's board chair, Stephen Crocker, praised his group's inclusion of all voices and said the fear is misplaced.
Well, the Facebook police have officially blocked at least 100,000, quote, hate posts by the German people in just 1 month. Virginia Hale for Breitbart reports that Facebook revealed that within the last month, it deleted 100,000 posts by German users for containing hate. My friends, this is the beginning of the scrubbing of anything you consider free speech.
Now it's time to take a look at some of the stuff that's going on in colleges around the country. The Outdoors Club at the Claremont Colleges in California have canceled an annual event.
Hi, Steve Cibolante here. It's official. The internet, which the U.S. has created, has been handed over to the United Nations. And you might ask why. The simplest reason is that the U.S. has something called the First Amendment, which protects far more than free speech, and we're going to get to that in a moment. The globalist agenda is to restrict free speech and free exercise of religion. Before we get to that, let's read the scriptures. 1 John chapter 1. Verse 18 and 19. Little children, it is the last hour, and as you've heard that the Antichrist is coming, even now many Antichrists have come, by which we know it is the last hour. They went out from us, but they were not of us. For if they had been of us, they would have continued with us, but they went out that they might be made manifest, that none of them were of us. So, the Bible predicts that the end time will be a time of great deception. The Antichrist agenda is to deceive people. The enemy of deception is the truth. So the Antichrist spirit, the Antichrist system, the globalists must muzzle the truth and censor free speech to achieve this apocalyptic equivalent of book burning in the end times. You know, and the West has a great tradition of book burning, which I'd like to review in a moment. Let's go to another scripture, 2 Peter chapter 2. Verse 2, 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 18 to 19. For when they speak great swelling words of emptiness, they allure through the lusts of the flesh, through lewdness, the ones who have actually escaped from those who live in error. While they promise them liberty, they themselves are slaves of corruption. How appropriate is that? They speak great swelling words of emptiness. And they lure people, even those who, some of them have escaped from error, they end up going back into error and become slaves because they believe in this promise of liberty. You know, they're just using Orwellian newspeak, doublespeak, to trick people. German poet Heinrich Heine said in 1820, wherever books are burned, human beings are destined to be burned too. Another translation said, where they burn books, they will also ultimately burn people. And I think that's the equivalent of what's happening.
Me and you is gonna be on the stakes, bro.
To the United Nations.
That's what's at stake.
Books, but these days they don't burn physical books because most of the information.
Wake up before it's too late.
So what do? The equivalent of
you're in the land of Nod.
Burning of books. is to censor the internet. Book burning has a long history. The Catholics were notorious for the Inquisition of the Protestants and Jews, burning non-Catholic books, which included the Protestant Bibles. These were Bibles that were translated in the vernacular, and burning the Jewish Talmud. Culprits included Pope Gregory IX, who in 1242 burned 12,000 copies of the Talmud. Other Catholic popes
Not the
continued
Talmud.
burning of books.
It was our
Is to
Bible.
censor the internet.
Talmud
Book burning has a
doesn't
long
mean
history. The Catholics were
our
notorious
histories.
for the Inquisition
Right.
of the Protestants and Jews, burning non-Catholic books, which included the Protestant Bibles. These were Bibles that were translated in the vernacular, and burning the Jewish Talmud. Culprits included Pope Gregory IX, who in 1242 burned 12,000 copies of the Talmud. Other Catholic popes continued the Roman tradition of censorship by public burning of books. These included Pope Innocent the Fourth, Clement the Fourth, John the 22nd, Paul the, and burning the Jewish Talmud. Culprits included Pope Gregory IX, who in 12
The original
burned
Torah.
12,000 copies of the Talmud. Other Catholic popes continued the Roman tradition of censorship by public burning of books. These included Pope Innocent the Fourth, Clement the Fourth, John the 22nd, Paul the Fourth, Pius the Fifth, and Clement the Eighth. The Catholic Thomas Torquemada of the Spanish Inquisition was infamous for burning people at stake and arranging for book burning festivals. They had the atmosphere of a party as they got rid of books that they didn't agree with. And this continued on in the West, especially during the Nazi regime in the 1930s. The German Student Union, the people who should be studying and opening their minds to knowledge and learning how to see opposing views. And this continued on in the West, especially during the Nazi regime in the 1930s. The German Student Union, the people who should be studying and opening their minds to knowledge and learning how to see opposing views. The German Student Union burned books that oppose Nazi ideology. These included books by Jewish, pacifist, and religious authors. The persecution of authors was called a cleansing by fire, an action against the un-German spirit. So now we come to the age of the internet, where so much Christian content is easily available, and people are taking it for granted. A lot of people are saying, give us more and more content, but they are censoring what we're saying. And people don't realize that this is happening in the background. And what do the globalists have to do in order to be a censor? They have to take the control of the internet away from the United States.
Taliban militants have launched a series of attacks on the city of Kunduz in northern.
California Governor Jerry Brown signed a bill into law Friday that makes it illegal to do.
Over 4,100 pastors have signed up for the protest.
California Governor Jerry Brown signed a bill into law Friday that makes it illegal to distribute recorded conversations containing confidential information from healthcare professionals in the state of California. California Governor Jerry Brown signed a bill into law Friday that makes it illegal to distribute recorded conversations containing confidential information from healthcare professionals in the state of California. Into law Friday that makes it illegal to distribute recorded conversations containing confidential information from healthcare professionals in the state of California. The bill was introduced after anti-abortion group the Center for Medical Progress attempted to expose Planned Parenthood's donation of fetal tissue to research companies last year. After state investigations, Planned Parenthood was found.
They've been selling they've been selling our body parts. Why do you think they love it when you want to cremate your body or you cremate your family? They love processing your body because a lot of these institutions have contractual agreements with each other in order to provide these bodies or these corpses and these body parts, in order for corporations to take these body parts via purchasing and put them in organ farms, and these organ farms turn around and they grow or multiply by cloning these different organs, and they end up selling them for top dollar. So this has been going on behind our backs for how long? And as soon as somebody investigates it and brings it to the forefront, there's some crazy things that's stirring up. But then eventually, look, now no one's talking about it. And then as soon as everyone forgot about it, now they're passing bills and arresting the people. Just like Trayvon, just like Eric Garner's, the guy who videotaped Eric Garner's death. He's in jail while the police is out.
Found not guilty of wrongdoing. The man and woman who went undercover to obtain the recordings were charged in Texas with tampering with government records for creating fake IDs and attempting to purchase fetal body parts from Planned Parenthood.
They got him for attempting to buy when they was never going to buy.
The man and woman who went undercover investigations. Planned Parenthood was found not guilty of wrongdoing. 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 The man and woman who went undercover to obtain the recordings were charged in Texas with tampering with government records for creating fake IDs and attempting to purchase fetal body parts from Planned Parenthood. The charges were later dropped. Under the new law, only the individuals who make the recordings will be prosecuted, excluding journalists who might aid in their distribution. Under the new law, only the individuals who make the recordings will be prosecuted, excluding Under the new law, only the individuals who make the recordings will be prosecuted, excluding journalists who might aid in their Under the new law, only the individuals who make the recordings will be prosecuted, excluding journalists who might aid in their distribution.
Black Monday in Poland. That's the name of this nation.